Oh my god. Oh my god, a NAAFIRI piece. Ooh, Le Penna. Ooh, hoo, hoo. What is up, nerds? It's me, YamatosDeath, back with another guide, a long-awaited guide. This time we have something really crispy, NAAFIRI and Talon guide. In my opinion, the only two useful assassins in this matter, in my opinion. I am currently 1,100 LP on the EOS server, and I'm basically the only assassin player up there, I would say. And I think I can teach you how to dominate right now and get your end of season peak up. Let's roll it. So as you can see, there's a lot of more pros than cons in my opinion. Even though you need to consider NAAFIRI is somehow getting nerfed next patch, which is probably only because of gold and lower, as we all know. Right, freak season, it is what it is. Sometimes the game will be balanced around bronze and lower. It is what it is, but we can still make it work. So pros, strong carry potential while being safe, which is probably the best part about NAAFIRI, in my opinion. After 3 items, the carry potential of NAAFIRI is probably one of the highest of all assassins currently, in my opinion. Especially damage-wise, okay? And usually, the main thing about NAAFIRI is you don't even have to jump in. You can Q, E, Q, E, Q, till you find the right moment to W and ultimate in, okay? First, good pro. Her double shield mechanic, even triple shield, is what makes me win those crispy clean challenger games usually. Her ultimate gives her a shield, which is insanely OP. The moment you get a kill, you get the shield back, and the moment you hit a Q, you get Eclipse shield, which means you usually have a 1000 shield to top it all off, okay? That is the absolute most broken, busted mechanic for NAAFIRI, which you need to master. Third, safe laning phase. In my opinion, NAAFIRI has one of the safest landing phase of all assassins, okay? Just because you can just Q and then get last hits with that one. Does this make sense? Yeah? Does this make sense? You sit back, Q, get last hits, that's it. Like if you compare this to Talon or caaaner, which are forced to walk up to get last hits. Especially because Talon W is like really low damage compared to NAAFIRI Q. Dogs last hitting for you. I feel like this is actually a pretty nice mechanic. Okay? Especially for you low elo freaks that can't even right click on minions correctly in the right timing. I feel like this can actually get you at least 10 last hits in the early laning phase, which is already a lot of gold you get for free. Fifth, it's a funny doggo and you can pet it. If you didn't know, you can press Ctrl 1 twice and you can pet NAAFIRI. If you didn't know that, now you do. Sixth, if you are low elo, I would consider NAAFIRI easy to play. I would not consider like completely the easiest assassin, but we all know that her W in low elo is a bit OP. So the lower elo you are, the easier it is probably to play NAAFIRI. And she is the best scaling assassin by far. There is not even one assassin that comes close. Zed came close to her because it's similar playstyle. I would actually consider NAAFIRI and Zed similar playstyle. But since Zed is legit nerfed now and one of the worst fucking champs in the game, I would consider NAAFIRI's best assassin in the game now, scaling wise. And if you go my build, which is obviously only the viable build you should always go, it's a great tank shredder to top it all off. And it has insane great mobility the later the game goes on. Since E is insanely low cooldown, don't forget your double shield mechanic and your Eclipse. And after you have your third item, Crutch, you can kite enemies insanely well if you have at least one functioning hand. Okay, now we come to the cons. The higher you go, the more aligned you are on hitting your Qs, okay? NAAFIRI is same as Zed. Zed is only as good as much Qs he can hit and much damage he can output without getting hit. Which means most of you nerds are bad at skill shots, so the higher you go, the lower win rate you will get on NAAFIRI, okay? It's reliant on having high CS count and level lead, or no damage. So we've all once had a NAAFIRI in a game that was completely worthless and useless and did no damage, and it became the most useless champ in the game, which everyone knows about. But we can prevent that by actually knowing how to play the game and actually CSing. And the level lead makes it so oppressive, okay? You need to understand this. Zero, I repeat, literally zero early damage It's insane dock reliant in laning phase, which means you should always have your 2 docks up. If not, then you will probably lack a lot of damage. And WQ hit reliant. So it really only really deals damage if you hit double Qs. Compared to Talon, it's a joke, okay? A lot of bad matchups, but that's just the usual assassin stuff. I mean, especially if you play Diamond Plus, let's be honest, we are like currently in Freak season. I think every single matchup you will play nowadays, you will automatically lose since the start, okay? So first of all, you need to be way better than enemy team, enemy laner, and second of all, you're not allowed to make one singular mistake or you will be just literally useless. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue with the runes. In my opinion, the best setup right now is still First Strike, even though it got nerfed 50 times in a row. I know, shocking. Not because of First Strike alone, but because of Inspiration Tree, okay? The Inspiration Tree is just too OP. Like, everything here is just too OP. You get free 300 gold here, which is basically a kill. Future Market is still great for getting your spikes, especially late and mid game. And Cosmic Insight is just absolutely too broken, like especially like TP and Item Haste and even like Eclipse. This shit is just too OP, so okay. And second, I would consider, you need to understand the one singular NAAFIRI thing you need to understand, okay? NAAFIRI scales hardcore crazy with AD. Because of what? Her ultimate. Her ultimate gives her more AD, the more AD she already has. That means if you have maximum AD, you will get even more AD from your ultimate. Which just means more damage, more destruction. So the more AD you get from your runes, which is absolute focus, absolutely underrated rune, I would consider this absolute broken. You will get like legit like free 2080 almost. Look, like it's legit free 2080 for nothing. You just get 2 long swords for free basically from this rune alone. If you stay healthy, of course, which you should stay, because NAAFIRI has a lot of shields. And if you don't stay healthy as NAAFIRI, you're just bad, okay? And second of all, we are a scaling assassin. One of the best scalings in the game, which means Gathering Storm is a must, okay? Look how much fucking 80 you get. Look at it, look at it. 2980 minute 30, 4880 minute 40. Well, if you don't win the game in 1v9 with that much 80, then you just should be staying in gold, okay? I would also sometimes consider, it's not bad, but I would not consider it that good. You can go, for example, Conqueror, which is still decent, but the only problem about Conqueror is the tree is just bad, okay? It's more about the tree and not really the rune. I would consider Conquer pretty good still. It's probably the least nerfed rune. But the tree is just not as optimal as Inspiration is. So you can still go Sorcery second. You can still do this, for example. You can even do, if you're really funky and you're really low elo, you can go full Snowball runes. Even this, for example. This is like max Snowball. But I would still consider Inspiration and Sorcery the best. If you really want to be funky, then you can go Electro, which I not consider because Electro is just so overnerfed and it's really useless in on NAAFIRI, especially. It's supposed to be a laning rune, but even there it's underwhelming, so I would not consider going Electrocute. And if you want to be really cringe and funny and funky and cool, Comet could still be a possibility, especially because the tree sorcery is also pretty good. Mana flow is pretty good. If you perma-spam abilities, Comet is actually one of the highest damage runes still in the game, especially in any phase. I would still consider going Inspiration here though, because getting free 300 gold and Cosmic Insight is just too OP, okay? So these are the 3 rune options I would consider, but I think in 99% of games, if you really wanna truly 1v9, this is the setup, okay? 2 adaptive, health, because we don't really play lane anyway, since it's a really bad lane phase champion, as we know. So the more health you get, more scaling. This is full scaling, okay? Understand? Okay, let's get into the game. I will always, no matter what elo you are, TP and flash, okay? So if you really wanna get better at League of Legends, especially playing my champs that I play, learn consistency, okay? We are living in Freak season, guys. Freak season is all about being consistent, especially if you play the worst role in the game, okay? Like we are currently. Assassin and mid lane is just simply the worst. I think we can all agree on that. Even the biggest haters can agree on this statement, especially the high elo you go, the worse that shit gets, okay? The more consistent you need to be, and you only learn consistency by taking TP, okay? What you start with, Doran's Blade, always. Literally, I'm not even trolling, okay? If you like silver, and there's not a lot of punishment on any phase, and you are sure you're not going to die, and an enemy is not gonna like perma put spells in your asshole, you can go longsword. I would still consider 99% of the games Doran's Blade, just because of what stats it gives you. You need the health. 100 health. Sometimes even the Omnivamp is pretty useful, okay? And you get 1080, which you didn't get before from the longsword. You basically get the same 80 as longsword now, plus you have 100 health, which will help you stay healthy in lane, which will help you stay consistent. First item, Dirk Eclipse, always. If you are really hard low elo, and you have the easiest lane end game ever, you can rush Hydra for the fastest spike, because Hydra is more valuable on max stacks than Eclipses. But in most games, I would still consider, just for the better spike, early on especially, Eclipse. Afterwards, we get Hydra. I know, before I said Hydra was bad, which still I would consider pretty bad in comparison and over-nerfed. But the value you get from the AoE and the raw AD you get from it, if you are on max stacks, is just too OP on NAAFIRI. It is too fucking OP. Because remember, what did I say? The more AD you have, the more AD you get from the ultimate. Do you understand me? And the more shield you get, which is even more broken. Don't make me aggressive right now, okay? Understand this? So we go Eclipse, Ravenous. Crutch! Third. Why Crutch? You ask yourself right now in your chair, you low elo nerd. Because it slows. And NAAFIRI is all about that sexy Q into wolves attacking, into kiting, into waiting for the right moment, into Wing in, into pentakill! So before this though, if you have a rough game or like a game where you even, I would consider going Ionian Boots. Always, 99% of the games. If you play against full AD, you can still go Ninja Tabby, obviously, because insane value. If you play against full CC AP team, Merc Threats can still be good, obviously. But 99% of the games you don't have that, so you go Ionian Boots. If you are really fat, usually you can sit on the magical footwear, which we will usually get after Eclipse or even before if you're really fat. And then stay on it because it gives you enough movement speed, and then rush Hydra before finishing your Ionian Boots for the maximum gold input, economy, scaling, sexy, daddy, fisting in game, of course. Okay. Fourth, Black Cleaver. No matter what happens, okay. Number one rule in Freak Season: lethality is a useless stat. It is simply useless. They over-nerfed it. They made everyone have 100 base armor. They made everyone have 1,000 million health. Even the biggest fucking cucklord Oriana champions are gonna have 5,000 health now and 100 base armor. So what you need is armor penetration, percentage, and max HP Eclipse, and max HP shred, armor shred, all the shred of the armor you need, okay? So this is the build path. And the last item. In most scenarios in high elo, I would choose Guardian Angel just because of how OP Guardian Angel is. Because usually in high elo, there's only one fight that really matters in late game, and if you get a free revive there, you usually win. If you're really low elo, Collector's still is decent good, especially for having fun. Edge of Night, insane value in some games. I would not consider Prowler a good item on NAAFIRI, because I simply don't think you auto-attack as much. Maybe like once, but even that is not gonna be that good. So I think it's kind of a bait. If you really want to go a lethality item and enemy are full squishy, I would actually consider Axiom Arc. Axiom Arc is still fucking OP. It's probably one of the best assassin items and the only viable one I would consider. Actually viable and actually good one. So if you really want to go a lethality item, last item, when enemy is full scale squishy, you can choose the Axiom Arc, okay? So this should be, in most games, in my opinion, Guardian Angel is still better. In most games, this should be considered your full build. Of course with Ionian Boots, which I can't do because I am not 10 minutes in the game. Okay, this is the runes and the items. Consider Ravenous Hydra 40 stacks, that's also pretty important. You need to always have 40 stacks on Ravenous Hydra, okay? If you don't have 40 stacks on the Ravenous Hydra, you will miss out on how much AD? Do you know what 40 AD is? If you have your ultimate, which gives you bonus AD on your bonus AD. That means a lot, okay? That means a lot. Okay, let's go into the next one. Okay, so let's start with the matchups, which is sadly not optimal in most cases, okay? All the meta champions right now which we all know in Freak Season, Syndra, Orianna, even Azir, even LeBlanc, even Ari sometimes. All these matchups are not really punishable nowadays, okay? Even after the Dawn's Ring buff, durability patch, all these champions will have 700 base health now, fucking 30 armor, so there is no really any punishment anymore. The worst matchups of NAAFIRI is probably the same as Talon. Orianna is what I ban every game, okay? I ban Orianna. There is no way I'm ever gonna play against Orianna again if she's just gonna get untouched. And she will be untouched for the remainder of the season. So if you wanna have a good ban and you're decent elo, I would consider giving you the chance of banning Orianna, okay? Syndra is what I asked for a ban in high elo, because that champ is just always played in high elo when Orianna is banned. And Syndra is almost even more unplayable for NAAFIRI than Orianna is, because Syndra will just literally outscale you by doing nothing. You can be 10-0 NAAFIRI, Syndra will get 3 items, being 0-5, she will press R button and you're dead. And you can't jump her because of her E, which is insane hard counter to NAAFIRI. So there's no winning. That's why you ask for ban. Another hard matchup is Azir, which I also don't know how I'm supposed to win against Azir. The only thing I can do against Azir is just flip roam and hope for the best. Because you don't outscale Azir, you don't outfarm Azir, you don't outpoke Azir, you don't out-item Azir, because you can go Sonya's crown and still one-shot you. The only thing you can do with Azir, which the other two you can't, is out-teamfight him or out-lane him, out-roam him. I would still consider Azir a bit weaker than Syndra Orianna, especially because it's harder to play and you actually need to know what you're doing. So if you're anything under Diamond, I would not consider Azir a hard matchup. You can still play against him. If you're over Diamond, it's gonna be a bit harder. Another completely unplayable matchup is Neeko. I don't know what kind of crack cocaine in game Riot Games is smoking. Even if she misses all 3 of her spells, she has a 5-second cooldown on her W or whatever. So even if she misses all your spells and you W her, she will just W and then runs away and you have no counterplay. That's like the most retarded thing ever. But the good part about Neeko is she is not really scaling. That's the only thing. The only thing she has is her ultimate. And if you somehow play around it or somehow get fed around roaming or getting good fight angles, which I will explain later, you can still make it somehow work. Okay. Another bad matchup for NAAFIRI. I would not consider LeBlanc that bad. NAAFIRI is actually pretty good into LeBlanc, even especially in low elo. I would consider NAAFIRI is actually not bad into LeBlanc compared to Talon. Other bad matchups that is not mages, I would consider Yasuo's pretty hard. I mean, obviously, because Yasuo can just block your fucking Q, and then what do? He will hard destroy you in laning phase also, just because of his E. He can E through your wolves, and then you're just fucked. And another really hard matchup is Yon, because he has a free shield bow level 1 on his W for whatever reason on 5-second cooldown. So no matter what he does, he can just press W and then he will win trades. Aurelia, I would not even consider Aurelia a hard matchup. I barely even play against Aurelia's. I think Aurelia mid lane is not even optimal in the meta right now also. So this guy really needs to be a good, insane, crazy one trick and crazy cracked mechanical wise. If you are not stupid and just walk into the E of Aurelia, okay? I think that's like the main problem low elos have when they play against Aurelia. They just walk up and then get E'd by Aurelia and then he one-shots you with his one-item spike. So as long as you respect that, Aurelia is not even that hard, especially because she's not that good in the meta. The only good part about Aurelia versus NAAFIRI is obviously because she can Q your minions and get stacks. Your wolves. Okay, does that make sense? Anything else is medium, anything else you can survive lane. I would not even consider Ahri that hard, because obviously you can't really kill her because she has 5 dashes and an E. But if you time your W right, you can outplay Ahri's E because your wolves usually should block it if she does it late. I think that's it. The most important combo about NAAFIRI obviously is how you actually use your spells in the right rotation. The most usual combo I do to get a kill is I ult, obviously. I W, instant Q, auto attack E, auto attack Q. This is what I usually do to get a kill. It might look easy, okay, but trust me, I think 90% of you low elos will fuck this combo up. Just this simply combo you will fuck up. Especially the auto attack in between is what makes the difference between me and you, okay? Do you understand this? Sometimes you don't really just want to just W in. Sometimes you wanna Q first, poke them down, E a bit, kite them, pull back your wolves so they don't die. Q again, Q, W, E auto attack, Q. A lot of situational combos you do. But this is usually what you do if you're fed, okay? W, Q instantly, auto attack, E, auto attack, Q. Especially the last Q is important because usually you need to wait out what enemy does. The higher you go, the more valuable flash gets. Which means if I, for example, do this and the enemy AD carry is, I don't know, upset or something, he is obviously going to look for a flash outplay. Flash my Q is what he can do at the start, which no one ever does, okay? What you see here is I W instant Q. This animation alone, no one will ever flash this. There is maybe a half a second window where you can actually flash, and the fact that you can't really flash this, or maybe like 1 out of 500 times where someone actually managed to flash this, your Q is going to hit the first Q, which is the important part. If you don't hit the first Q, you automatically will lose 90% of your damage, okay? And then I auto attack. I don't E, I don't Q again, I auto attack. Because it should be another free auto attack. And do you see how much damage my wolves do? They will basically do another auto attack on top of it. Then after you auto attack, you do an E, do another auto attack. Wait out what enemy does and then do your last Q. NAAFIRI is not really a combo champ. Riot designed to do this champion to be a smart assassin that waits for the right moment to go in. NAAFIRI is a skill shot champion. This champ is all about hitting your Q, and if you're bad at skill shots, don't even play it. Another important part about it, this champ is also your E brings back your wolves and heals them. Which means if you ult, your Q, wolf jumps, enemies usually try to kill your wolves if they have at least some form of AoE or something. That means you press E, especially away, like preferably away from them, to bring back your wolves and heal them. Because your wolves are actually 70% of your damage source, which a lot of people don't understand even. What you also can do is, for example, it's also a pretty funny mechanic. If you press E directly after W, sometimes the E follows enemies. I don't know how this mechanic works. It's really rare this happens. But for example, if you W and someone flashes over the wall before the W hits, and you press E directly afterwards, the E somehow jumps directly behind the enemy no matter where he lands. It's really crazy mechanic. I don't know how this is like a thing, but I mean, it sometimes happened to me, okay? Maybe it's valuable info, I don't know. This is all about inside information. And also an important thing you need to know about NAAFIRI is that your Q and wolf hit proc Eclipse. That's the main reason we even go Eclipse in the first place. I mean, there's a reason Eclipse is only the most viable assassin item damage-wise, and because it gives shield, and you need all of those to survive in Season 30 nowadays, in Freak Season, okay? And the fact you can just easily proc it like that is even better. I would still talk about the NAAFIRI nerf next patch. I would still need to try if E max afterward, because then nerfing a E base damage is still worth. There might be a possible way that W nerf, W skill up is the new thing. But I will see, and you will see then if you come to my stream and watch then. Okay, let's get into the next. For laning phase, I pull out a VOD. We can look at it together. What do we have here, guys? First of all, what do we have here? Taliyah matchup. What does Taliyah matchup mean? Can't really punish her in lane as long as she doesn't use E. Okay, that's the only thing you need to know in this matchup. It's not really like that hard to live this one, especially how I play. Okay, do you see me? Do you see how I play? I don't walk up, I don't get auto-attacked, and I don't get queued. I simply wait for minions to be low and then throw my Q to get the last hits, okay? Step number 1 of playing Assassin nowadays in Freak Season. Don't get poked down, as per usual. Another mechanic you need to know on NAAFIRI is have wolves. If you Q enemy and the wolves jump on them, you can auto-attack a minion that is not a last hit, okay? This only works if it's not a last hit. The wolves will jump back towards you and attack the minion. So usually you get to save the wolves and don't just randomly make them die to enemy out-attacking them, okay? So do you see it? I am still full life. I am still full life. And I'm simply last hitting with my Q. Slow and steady. No need to get poked down. Because I will not have any kill pressure. Do you see this? Did you see this one? Did you see this one? I walk up! So my wolf last hits for me. You need to know this mechanic has probably like around a 10-second cooldown, okay? So you can only do this once in 10 seconds. Also a valuable thing to know. So I let this wave crash because I don't want to get poked down. I get as much minions as I possibly can in this matchup. And remember, always keep eyes on the map. Look what your jungle is doing. If preferred, if you have vision, look where enemy jungle is. And make plays around your jungle. Okay? Alone, you will not make any play. Any play in early game. You are useless piece of shit. You play useless piece of shit in early game, okay? You are weaker than a cannon minion. Accept it and move on. Play on your jungle, especially if he has a CC champion. CC is OP in this matter, okay? You can only truly kill someone if you hit all of your combo with 2 auto attacks in double Q into CC combo, okay? Don't even try. See? Rel is ganking. I stay on top. So she's forced to stay either middle or on bot. So Rel reaches. I W because she used E on the wave, which was even the first mistake she did. The only reason Rel could gank this is because Talia used E on the wave for no reason. Okay? I W E behind her. Q. She is forced to flash because Rel is there. Lucky W by her. That was lucky. There, nothing more there. That was just purely luck. The fact she hit both of us there was just purely luck. If she didn't hit that, she would have died. See? First mistake, she uses her E. Second mistake, she doesn't respect the gank potential. And after that, the hair game was over. Okay? See how lucky this was? If Rel W'd 1 nano atom second earlier, she would have died there. And the game would have been over. Is it still worth? Of course it is. Talon no flash against Rel NAAFIRI. I have a good wave state. Game is already over. I already know I'm gonna win this. Vego has to help push out Talia's wave. Because if this wave stays like this, she automatically loses the wave. This game. Rel goes for another counter gank. Which is good here. I hit my first Q on the Vego. Second Q on the CC. Wait out his flash. And then W. Your W in early game is no damage. Don't use your W for damage. Your W in early game is gap closing. Solely for gap closing. So only use it after enemy does his movement spell. Which is obviously for Vego his flash in this scenario. So what do we have here? Decently good wave state. Professional gets first blood. Game is already won. GG. I go base on a good wave state. I mean I have TP anyway, so TP back so I don't lose any minions. Keep playing safe. You don't have to risk anything. You got your lead. You got fat fucking gold. You got a sexy spike now. I mean, decently a sexy spike. It's not as big as Talon, for example, but this is still decent. My wave is slowly bouncing now, so gotta take care for the Vego gank. Oh yeah, this one. Do not do what I just did there, okay? You are not him. You are not him. I only did this because I am him. Okay? Watch this now. Watch this now. Don't do this. I know my limits to that perfect extent. I do not panic my Q. I do not panic my E. I wait out and do 2 auto attacks before anything. Into perfectly calculating my E jump out of turret range. And the only reason I could do this is because I got first blood and Dirk. And he has nothing, okay? If I didn't have this, I wouldn't even do this. Just because I do it in shell game doesn't mean that this will work in your gold game, okay? Just stay consistent, you got your first blood already, and you play for your 2 free items, okay? So now game is just over. Like I'm already like smiling. I'm already like all chatting to this pick that he's bad and who you think he is. Why he plays against professional this pick. So what I see here, wave bouncing towards me. I get a perfect back off. Only problem we have now is getting to the 3 items without anyone inting. Which sometimes you can't control, obviously. If your team insta lead away, you can't control it. But that's why we play consistent and don't int with them. Low elo player be like, help me, the cannon is attacking me, help me. Professional be like, I will hold the wave under the perfect spot with the perfect freeze. Making Talia, once again, vulnerable to a gank. So if my Rel was a real professional here, he would instantly commit and punish this. Since she has still no flash. Why does she not just back when she has 1 HP? Why? Why did she just E there? You don't know. But that's what you're gonna deal with. And that's why we don't int. We just let the bonobos int. But we don't let yourself int. Okay? So, is this worth in your opinion, guys? So what I did here is, I queued. I thought it hits here. But sadly it was 1 atom meter away from hitting. And then I W instantly afterwards. Not worth. Not worth, you know why? I have a shutdown. And trading kills 1 for 1 with a shutdown is not worth. So what I'm gonna do here is, I'm gonna just skip forward a bit. And go to a point where I am 2 or 3 items, okay? So we can see mid game. So, I have Eclipse now, okay? I have 1 item advantage on anyone. Slowly, I will be starting to look for plays on the map now, okay? Which I'm looking here. My bot lane inting, my jungle inting, doesn't matter, it's fine, okay? Because the professional is here. Flash W de Vego, so he doesn't ult away. Wait my Q patiently, hit both of them! Let Saya die to the bleed because we're cool like that, and then get Rakan out attack. What did the professional just get? More than 1000 gold in his pocket. Cash flow. What I do afterwards? Get 2 platings. Maximize my gold output. Input, I mean. And what do we see here? What do we see here? Xayah without flash, ghost and ultimate. Randomly walking up towards an NAAFIRI that has full eclipse and ultimate up. Used her E. I waited her E even. I even waited her E. Out attack, Q. Dead. 400 gold once again because the professional knows what he's doing. Walk away because you don't want to give shutdown. I mean, this Rattle engage is okay, I guess, because we're outnumbered, so I'm gonna follow it. Take the plantings. Get another kill on the Vego. GG. Remember, dragons are OP, okay? Always get dragon if possible. So what I'm doing here is sight. And I have my Ravenous, which means we are kinda spiked. Not crazy big spike, just mini spike, okay? This is still pretty strong. But I would say maximum spike reach is after Crutch. So what I'm doing here is I know their bot side. I get vision before I even walk up or do anything to this Talia. Because if I trade 1 for 1 for this Talia, we can see I have 500 gold shutdown. Obviously not worth, okay? So I'm gonna stay safe. Gonna get vision and try to not die. Because the game should be out with now. This is too risky. What I'm doing here is hoping Rel engages, but I didn't realize that Rel didn't have ult. So I just went in. I went in, okay? In hopes my Rel engages with me. Big problem, she doesn't have ult. What happens? I look for an engage because this is a good angle, I'm fat as fuck. Triple Q in their asshole! Look at their health bars because of Ravenous. Now imagine, I queued here. But sadly I tried to predict Xayah sidestepping it. Which she didn't do because of Rumble ult. So sadly the second Q missed. Okay? Sadly the second Q missed. Which is still fine. My Sari ints. Why does my Sari int? Because he's eBay. Don't forget, okay? Don't forget. Let's see what Sari does here. Let's see what Sari does here. I'm looking. I'm gonna look what Seri does now. $800 LP, 80 carry by the way, pro player. Does it matter? No, it doesn't, because their professional is fat and I do not get triggered by noobs like that, okay? I will still carry. Keep that in mind. It's fine. We back off. I kite with my Q, get as much damage off as possible. This tower should be free. I even go in because I see an angle here. What I do? I E instantly after W, so I can for sure get the Xayah. Get my shield, Eclipse. Sadly get knocked up by Rakan because balance. And my Lulu is a pedophile with both thumbs up and W. And uses ult for Seri because he's shit. So that sucks. But it is what it is sometimes. What I'm doing now is, you see me, I don't have max stacks. What I do, I go side and get my max stacks. Nothing to play now for. There's no objective. No objectives up. Dragon spawns in approx 1 minute. That means I can side till dragon spawns. And then we fight again. What do I see here? Talia. And I see Rel. What do I do? We dive it. I don't make it too obvious. Because if I walk up here, he already obviously knows someone is gonna be there. What I do? I try to wait till Rel. And then when Rel is ready to jump in, I ultimate. Wait Rel to get aggro, wait out her E to get away, and then W. She wastes all her spells. I Q, E auto attack Q. She just literally died there because I used 2 auto attacks. Do you see how patient I am with my Qs, okay? Do you see the patience? I wait for the perfect moment to throw my Q always and try to hit as many people as possible. Hit both of them. Wait out for Viego's soul to get on Rel. Walk away because I'm kiting them and I have not even Crutch. If I had Crutch that this would be way easier. I didn't even have Crutch there. I E away, Q both of them, get sexy heal. Wait for Rakan to jump. Q again. Get Eclipse shield and speed. Keep kiting. Wait for a perfect moment to W Xayah. Instantly E behind her so she E doesn't hit me. Q instantly. I like auto tech to get Eclipse. And then Viego just suicides to tower. So, what do we play around next for? Baron. I will 1v9 no matter what now, because we have our 3 core items, okay? Remember. As long as we play controlled, this is unlosable because I will one-shot all of them. I see isolated Xayah. Where's my team? Question mark, exclamation mark, I don't know. It's fine, we still make it work. Because I'm the professional. Look how I'm kiting, do you see this? Dodge Xayah E. Wait out my Q. Slow them to eternity with my dogs. Look at him, he can't move. What I do? Flash E auto attack. Dodge the Rakan knockup. Get my shield back up. Auto attack. Q the Talia. He is slow to eternity. What I do? Wanted him also. Get fucking shot in game, of course. Get Baron, win the game. Professional at work. 1v5 in challenger game. Last fight. I am full build. Look at my build. Literally full build. Look at my items. Look at Talia items and do not smile. Do not look. Do not spot the season 13 freak no hand that has no hands and spot the professional I have lost. What I see here? I wait and look for the perfect moment. Where is my Seri? eBay. Where's my Lulu? eBay. Unlucky. It's fine. Still win. Bait out Rakan ultimate. W the Rakan the moment he eased towards his teammates, so I get on the Talia also. Cool Talia. Flashy auto attack. Look how much damage it does. Did you just see this damage? Did you just see this damage? You wanna know why he did so much damage? Because I have 500 fucking 80. Quadra kill. Where's our penner? Where's our penner? Which pick took my penner? Yeah, of course. Noob take it always. Literally challenger game. Okay? Alright, learned enough. Okay, let's get going towards the Talon guide.